with the help of body-worn video cameras.
Police officers!
Get off me! Stay down! Huh?
The new eyes of the law.
Crashed. Go after runner!
Out the car! Now! Yeah!
Cops on the front line in Nottinghamshire tackle all types of emergencies.
To me, hands up.
What have I done? What have I done?
And crack down on all kinds of crime.
More and more plants, every room we go to.
They are the Bodycam Squad. Coming up on Bodycam Squad,
You trying to be back there, yeah?
a vicious assault on a cop.
Get off me!
All caught on Bodycam.
Oh!
A shadowy figure
Come on, man. You just talk.
leads to stolen scooters being discovered by chance.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't do that, matey, otherwise you get yourself locked up, won't you?
And a neighbourhood is evacuated
Yeah, grab your coats and stuff.
after threats to turn a house into an inferno.
It is an emergency.
Nottinghamshire, in the heart of England. Every day here, the police deal with around 1,000 incidents, roughly half of which require officers to attend. To keep a lid on the level of crime, every response cop in the county has been issued with a body-worn video camera to gather hard evidence to nail offenders. It's Saturday morning, and bodycam cop Dan Weaver is on patrol in Nottingham.
I'm a response officer. I cover large parts of the south of the city. If you ring 999 or report a crime, I'll turn up in one of the police vehicles.
Dan is working alone, which is normal on the day shift. However, the call he's just taken is anything but normal.
Romeo 438 received Shimmer State 5. Right from the start, it was a weird sounding job. I was just told by the control room that there was a call from a lady who'd come out to a car and found two lads sat in it who she didn't know. There was no suggestion any of them had really done anything. They were just sat in the car.
Dan switches his body cam on when he gets there and speaks to the woman who owns the car. She'd left it unlocked.
Have they said anything to you?
The one at the back has sworn at me when I tried to get him out.
Okay.
This one has mumbled various
Yeah.
things which I haven't been able
Mate,
to
just
hear.
stay real. I wanted to find out who the people were, what they were doing. Hands behind your back for me. I wanted him to stay where he was, but it quite quickly became apparent he wasn't going to do that, and I went to put handcuffs on him. Wait, don't mess about. I said, hands behind your back, didn't I?
Is there any need?
Yes, there is a need.
Dan senses something isn't right and calls for backup.
Can you get someone to me urgently? Stop messing about. Stop messing about. He was being very threatening towards me with his body language. He was trying to come as close to me as he could with his face up towards mine. Right, stop resisting, okay, and put your hand behind your back. He tried to grab me by the throat at one point.
You're trying to be by me, you little prick. Huh? You're trying to be back there, yeah? What have you done?
Right,
Huh?
you better get off me.
Trying to hit me?
I was mindful that he could use the handcuff as a weapon against me, so I wanted to hold on to that. Right. Seriously, mate. Get off me! Things started to happen quite quickly.
Are you going to struggle? Are you going to struggle? I'm going to take your
You're the one struggling, aren't you?
Huh? My hand, my hand. Right,
Dan's back in control and pins the man to the ground.
Hey, stop!
But frighteningly, within seconds, the tables are turned.
fucking go.
Get off me!
My fucking head, yeah? Get off me, little fucking twat. Now you want to keep going? On my fucking head.
Unsure where his backup is, Dan uses every cop's last resort.
I think it's at that point I've actually pressed my emergency button.
The emergency button alerts all officers that a colleague is in serious danger.
My worst thoughts at that moment were that he'd caused me a real injury before other officers could get there to assist me.
Get off me. With your fucking head. Yeah? When you keep going.
Get off me, mate.
Fucking kill you.
I didn't know whether colleagues were travelling towards me or not because my earpiece had come out, so I couldn't hear what was going on.
I'll lick you up! I'll lick you the fuck up! Right. Like I give a fuck what you do to me!
Thankfully, within moments, backup arrives.
Just try and pull him off me if you can.
Get off me!
Stay down!
Huh? Stay down!
It was a huge relief when everyone arrived. I was eventually able to take a step back away and just reflect on what had happened.
Stay on the floor!
Yeah, keep putting me on the floor.
Stay on the floor!
Keep putting me on the floor.
438, can we get a van here, quickly?
Oh, listen!
It takes 4 cops to get the violent man's hand behind his back so they can fasten his other wrist into the cuffs.
I've got this sound secure, I just need to bring it to the one.
Calm down.
I'm calm, Mick. No, I got my hands on you.
Well, I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Right, don't struggle then, yeah? And we'll take the pressure off.
Yeah.
Okay?
Turn on my side now.
I'm just going to sit you up.
We do come across people who have little respect for the police, but it's not often that people will show that level of aggression and violence toward us.
I'll literally bite hold of your fucking mouth and I will not let go. Yeah? So you...
The cops have no idea why the man was in the car in the first place.
I think he was very definitely under the influence of alcohol. Whether there are any drugs involved, it's difficult to say.
Yeah, I've asked you nicely. I suggest you let go.
While they wait for a van to take the man to custody, the owner explains what happened when she first saw him sat in her car.
I asked him to move. Well, I said, hello, mate, you know, come on. I've done a bit of work with homeless. Then I noticed there was one in the back as well, and there's a smell of alcohol on both of them. I tried to be nice, you know, come out now and I'll get you a cup of tea. Otherwise, I'm calling the police. No response. So that's what I did.
The police van arrives, so the violent man can be taken into custody.
Come on! Sam, you're... Go then. Sam! Sam! No, what you put me on?
He seems to think he deserves to be treated well.
No, listen, put me in nicely.
The second man in the car is also arrested and taken into custody.
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something they later rely on the court.
Meanwhile, a nasty lump's coming up on Dan's face that needs to be looked at.
I think I probably ought to go to QMC just because he smacked my head on the concrete and so, yeah.
The evidence of the attack is all on Bodycam.
I went to hospital to be checked out and had an x-ray just to make sure there were no broken bones. Thankfully it was just bruising and a good lump. I think this incident has quite naturally made me reflect on what I do and the risks that I face each day. I've never experienced anyone quite as violent as that before. Hopefully that evidence from the body cam will show exactly what he was like that day.
I can't fucking see. Can I open my eyes so I can see?
Right. When it goes to court, hopefully it will show them exactly how he behaved and just how aggressive he was.
The police never got to the bottom of why the two men were sitting in the car in the first place.
The one who attacked Dan for no apparent reason pleaded guilty to police assault and was given a 120-hour community order and ordered to pay £150 compensation. His mate, who was in the back of the car, was released without charge. Dan suffered no lasting injuries and was soon back on patrol on the Nottingham front line. Violent crime is on the increase in the UK, and in particular, domestic violence where the perpetrator is a partner, ex-partner, or a family member.
401
On average, the police receive an emergency call relating to domestic abuse every 30 seconds. In Nottingham, they're one of the most common kinds of call-outs for bodycam cops like PCs, Keith Parks, and Ian Blackstock.
I'm a response officer, have been for just over 12 years. Started off in the Met down London. Now moved to Nottingham, which I've been for nearly 8.5 years now.
It's 9:45 p.m. In the Broxtowe suburb of Nottingham, Keith and Ian are responding to a report of domestic violence. When they get to the address,
You all right? We'll come in.
they're let in by a young woman who has a bad swelling under her eye.
What's happened then?
It turns up all the time. So obviously he sees the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
The woman explains that she'd been paid a visit by her ex-partner, who's the father of 2 of her 4 children.
Just drunk and kicked off. Just basically hit her.
I can see you've got an injury and stuff there, haven't you? She was upset, visibly, you know, she was crying, you know, she got facial injuries. So it was that kind of instant. You have to sit down, take some time, let her tell you what's happened in her own words and not rush her, you know, get the best evidence from her.
How often does he come round?
Every other day. But not as in anything. He just sees the kids.
Yeah, sees kids.
It's fine. It's when he has a drink that he kicks off.
So, how long have you been in a relationship with him?
We was in a relationship for about 2 years, and the first time that he had a drink, he hit me, so we split up. Ever since then, we've just been come round, see the kids, and we get on.
Right, okay.
But when he has a drink, which is not often, he gets violent.
Do you mind if I take a photo of your eye? Because you have got a bit of a black eye, alright?
He like smacked in my head.
How many times did he hit you?
A few times.
Because it's quite swollen, that side. I'm thinking if it's your cheek or anything like that, it's quite a... it's where your bone is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but I could tell just from previous experience where the injury she had, you could tell that it was more than just a black eye. You could tell it was a bit more of a fracture or a break, which is obviously means you've been hit with quite some force.
If we were to take you to hospital and get you looked over, would that be better?
Yeah.
Was there anyone that could come and sit with little ones?
It's the other way over.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I rang them first to say help.
The level of domestic abuse in the UK is shocking.
Are you very frightened?
And tackling it is a key priority for the police in Nottinghamshire.
Do you think he'd kill you or hurt the children or...?
With lives often in danger, it's imperative they do everything they can to build their case to help secure a conviction.
Quite a lot of man hours do go into domestic incidents and, you know, especially if you've got to arrest somebody, because you've got to find that person because that crime will not go away.
Coming up, with the woman in safe hands, the hunt is on for her violent ex.
He's not here.
Is he not?
I've seen him for a couple of weeks.
A man suspected of assaulting his former partner is being hunted by Nottinghamshire Bodycam cops Keith Parks and Ian Blackstock. They've been told he may have driven his work van to a nearby friend's house.
He's not here.
Is he not?
I've seen him for a couple of weeks.
But the man they're after isn't here.
All right, no worries. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Next, they try his mother's house.
Hey up, nothing to worry about. Did your son come home?
No.
Do you want to text him or ring him, see where he is?
I'll ring him.
Yeah. Don't tell him we're here, look, just to see where he is.
Bertie's mother can't stop herself.
Hello, where are you? Police raid, what you done?
The man's mother passes her phone to Keith.
We need to see you, mate. Don't have police looking out for you all night, look. Just tell us where you are so we can come and see you. Otherwise, we'll come to work tomorrow to see you.
Right, I'll get a taxi to you now.
To save you the cost, I'll come to you if you like.
I'll get a taxi, I'll be about 10 minutes.
The police think the man, who's reportedly been drinking, may drive over. So they split up to try and catch him in the act.
I'm going to seat myself over in Sainsbury's car park and then just keep an eye as to where he's coming from.
And sure enough, after 20 minutes...
There's a van just gone past.
Yeah, I've just seen it.
And moments later...
Hey up! Is it you I'm looking for? Yes, it is. Where's your taxi? Have you paid it?
Yeah, I paid it.
You know why we need to talk to you, don't we?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to arrest you on suspicion of an assault. So you don't have to say anything, but it motivates you. Show me questions. Something makes later on the court if they do say it, maybe notes.
He's also going to be breathalyzed.
As suspected, I've seen him drive up, park up, and then walk round, and I followed him from his van to here. So, yeah, lo and behold, we'll see what he blows.
This roadside test will give an indication if he's over the legal limit.
Very clever machine to tell us how much you've had in your system. And you're blown 39, fella. Just listen to what my colleague's got to tell you. No further arresting you, all right, for driving whilst over the prescribed limit, all right?
On the way to custody, the man tells Keith about his fighting past.
I used to be semi-professional boxer.
Did you?
I broke my hand boxing.
Did you?
Kickboxing.
You get hurt doing that, don't you? Kickboxing and that?
If you can take it, you can take it. If you can't, you can't.
Outside the custody suite, the kickboxer gives his version of events.
I'm getting accused of supposedly hitting my missus. It's not true. She's obviously hit herself. I've walked out when after I've rang my dad and he was on the phone to her. She's hit the window and obviously I'm getting accused for it.
ABH at the moment on his ex-partner, alleged to have punched her to the face, causing possibly fracture to cheek.
The man is locked up.
This is your room for the night, fella.
And will face the custody sergeant in the morning. The woman did have a fractured cheekbone and was treated in hospital. She's since received support from the police as well as victim and counselling groups. Her ex-partner was not charged with drink driving, as later readings taken in custody were found to be below the legal limit.
However, he has been charged with assaulting his partner. After successfully presenting a case against the man to the Crown Prosecution Service, he has now been charged with ABH and is awaiting a court trial.
Domestic violence isn't the only issue taking up a disproportionate amount of police time in Nottinghamshire.
Crimes related to drugs and drug addiction are also a major problem for the Bodycam cops.
It's 4:30 p.m. in St Anne's, a suburb with the second highest crime rate in the city.
Evening, you've got myself and 2900.
PC's Dale Notley and Tiff Hutchinson are responding to a family dispute. It's a grade 1 call, which means someone's life could be in danger, so they need to get there within 15 minutes.
There's a gentleman inside the flat demanding some money. He's poured petrol, I think, somewhere inside the house. A couple of cops are just inside of us at the moment, so we're just backing them up, make sure everyone's okay. 10236.
The patio doors at the back are unlocked, and there's a strong smell of petrol coming from the house.
We need to get a couple of extinguishers out, that smell of petrol.
You could smell it actually approaching the address from the street, so much so it kind of took your breath away.
Liquid on the floor. There's a report of a smell of gas too.
I think we should just back off this gas.
So the cops retreat and await the fire service.
We're just going to clear the houses either side to be safe.
Yeah.
The surrounding area is evacuated.
Yeah, grab your coats and stuff. We've got a potential gas leak next door. It is an emergency, so I need to evacuate you from your house.
I believe we've got a male inside the house who's put petrol everywhere at the moment, and we can smell gas. We've got ambulance on standby and fire brigade. So at the moment, we're just making sure everyone's safe at the moment, either side.
Obviously, there's lives at risk here, so it's as quickly as we can just to get a nice circumference around the property.
When the firefighters arrive, Tiff gives them the lowdown.
It was a living room, and there's a strong smell of petrol, and officers have been around the back, and there's a smell of gas.
Right.
So it's accessible from the rear.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to go in if... Do you want to come?
Yeah, I'll come, yeah.
They think the man responsible has poured petrol over himself and could still be upstairs.
It's the police.
When we entered the address, I do recall seeing all the petrol on the floor. The main concern for me and also the officers was that is there a naked flame? Is the gentleman inside there with something that could ignite the fuel?
Where are you?
TV on the third bedroom.
If he sets light to himself, the whole house could go up in a ball of fire.
I'm going in. There is a danger there, but you tend to put that in the back of your mind. No one in here. Clear.
The house is empty. Now they need to make sure there isn't a gas leak.
Are we happy about the gas? Can we smell gas now? Well, I can smell it's petrol.
The gas is confirmed to be safe.
All right, let's let people back in then.
And neighbours can return to their homes.
I can only thank you so much for your time. Apologies for the, the immediacy, but it's really important that we, get you out as soon as possible.
The homeowner, the mother of the man they're after, has turned up. She's been receiving texts from her son which explain his extreme behaviour.
He's got a drug dealer on his back and it's stressing him out, badly.
She reads out some of the texts her son has sent to her.
I'm going to smash your house to pieces. Get me arrested, I couldn't give it out. Pick me this 40 quid, you FF, I hate you. This house is going up, I still want to stab, want to go. What's stopping me burning your house down right now? I've soaked myself in petrol. If any police try pulling me, I'm going in a blaze.
It's as serious as it gets. Someone that's doused himself with petrol. We've got imminent concerns for their safety and others as well. So it's important that we locate them as soon as we can.
They've asked for help from a special service, which can pinpoint the location of a mobile phone.
One thing that's going to be really useful if we can get authority is something called Spock. That's basically where we're able to triangulate the phone. It's only for very serious cases, which just would fit that criteria. So hopefully we'll get authority for that and see if we can narrow down the search for a particular area.
And with a lad threatening to set himself on fire, anything could happen.
Take him.
Just take him down.
Straight down to the ground.
Straight down.
Don't give him a chance for anything.
PCs Tiff Hutchinson and Dale Notley are on the hunt for a man who's thought to be drenched in petrol. They've asked for help using a restricted and confidential police procedure, often used to help find missing people, known as Spock.
Spock stands for single point of contact. It's the ability for us to triangulate a mobile phone, and it gives us a radius of where that subject could be.
The signal strength from 3 phone towers nearest the mobile is needed. While they wait for results, Tiff and Dale head to the home of some relatives of the wanted man.
There is going to be a worry about his mental state, but the main thing is to get to him and stop him from causing himself any harm. We have the criminal matter, but firstly we've got to look at seeing if we can get him help.
The family tell the cops the lad may be armed with a knife. They give an address where he could have gone.
Tactical options is now, because if he's still covered in fuel, we can't use a taser because that will light him up like a Christmas tree. So we'll have to use, if he kicks off, CS to try to subdue him.
His family are at a breaking point. They don't know what else to do. They've tried everything.
The friend living at the next house has recently come out of prison and has an electronic tag to make sure he sticks to his curfew, so they know he should be in.
What's his tag for? What offence was it for? Arson and criminal damage.
On the way, they get confirmation that they're on the right track.
We've had reports from the Spock inquiries we've had from his mobile phone, which are indicating that he's within probably half a mile of the address that we're actually going to now.
Other officers have also arrived as backup.
His Spock is pinging to this area, very, very close. It's arson with intent to endanger. He might be carrying a knife. Okay. Hello, mate, you all right?
You all right?
Yeah, good. Can we come in for 2 minutes? Is that all right?
What's up?
We just need to have a chat with you.
What about?
Do you want us to come in and we'll have a chat? Yeah. Thank you.
There's no smell of petrol, and the occupants tell the police the man they're after isn't there.
Have you heard from him? Okay.
But Tiff and Dale aren't convinced.
At the minute, we've got real concerns for him. Out of everything, his safety is the main thing.
So you come here?
We've come here.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're friends with him.
Yeah.
His phone's showing that it's in the area.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we're here. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Is he in here, mate?
No.
They want to search the house, but the couple have young children upstairs.
With your consent, are we all right to just have a quick look round just to make sure?
No, I don't really want you upstairs. You and my kids are in bed.
You kind of have to think outside the box, and it was actually Dale that was able to separate that guy from his partner.
Let's have a chat in here. Right, mate. With us, right, the phone's pinged this area and it's shown to you. If we find out later that he has been here, all right, and you've lied, you'll be brought in, mate. You know what'll happen. What? Obstructing police.
Obstructing police?
Yeah. We need to talk to him. We need to get him some help.
It's fine. He's here. It's fine.
He's here?
Yeah, it's fine.
Mate, we need to talk to him. Where is he? Mate, if you don't tell it, you'll come in with us and you don't want to, you're on tag. Upstairs.
All of a sudden, the man they've been hunting for the past 4 hours appears.
Am I getting arrested?
Just come down
Come
here.
down.
Let me talk to you. Chap, first of all, have you got anything on
The man is arrested for trying to set light to his mother's house and placing lives in danger.
suspicion of... Just one sec, let me finish speaking. On suspicion of arson with intent, it's an attempt.
There was a concern, but getting close, we couldn't smell any petrol on him whatsoever. So I think to let him have that cigarette and calm down. So yeah, so he did calm down rather than go up. Jump in there, bud.
In total, 12 officers were involved in the incident. 4 houses were evacuated, an ambulance was on standby and 2 fire engines were called to the house doused in petrol.
It's been an expensive incident for us to, deal with properly, but without every single person involved, we wouldn't have been able to do what we've done. We've located him within a matter of hours of the incident. He's safe and well, there's no one injured, the property's safe. The family will be appropriately safeguarded, and hopefully he'll be seen by a mental health professional in the morning, and they can check over him and see if they can put in more support for him.
In court, the 22-year-old pleaded guilty to threatening to destroy his mother's house, sending her threatening messages, and 2 counts of criminal damage. His reckless and dangerous behaviour resulted in an 18-month prison sentence. The Bodycam cops are always at the beck and call of the Control Room 999 operators. But even when the lines go quiet, there's work to be done. Keith has a reputation for finding it.
I don't think he should be driving.
It's 5 p.m.
I think he's disqualified.
and Keith is patrolling the Broxtowe area of the city.
If he's the same person who I think he is.
People say I've got this eye for people, but I don't know whether that just comes with experience or spending a lot of time on the roads, patrolling and looking for things. But I do like to try and keep an eye on everyone and see what they're doing.
Keith thinks he recognises the driver of a car that's pulled over.
Hey, hope you're all right. What's your name? Yeah? Should you be driving?
I recognise him because I've been to an incident, I believe at his address not too long ago, and I knew that he had no licence.
Hey?
Keith stopped the man's partner previously for a traffic offence. The car she was driving then was taken away and crushed. But it appears the couple have now acquired another one.
Have you got a licence at all?
I have applied for them.
Right.
My mum was going to send me it for his birthday that month, but she didn't.
Right, okay.
He may have applied for his provisional licence, but legally he shouldn't drive until it's arrived.
Yeah. How long have you had the car, Darren?
We've had it about 2 weeks.
Have you?
Keith has asked for a vehicle check, and it seems the lack of a valid driving licence isn't the only issue.
Okay.
Showing no insurance.
So what we're saying is you've got no insurance and you've got no licence?
He had no L plates on, not displaying his L plates. He just decided that today was the day that he was going to drive his car and not obey to any rules of the road at all.
As the car has no insurance, it will be seized. Keith arranges for it to be towed away. The young man is reported for driving without a licence or insurance and may be prosecuted.
It's time's 5:22. Have you got any reply? That's fine, mate.
He may have to pay a fixed penalty notice, attend court, or take part in a training course. On top of that, If he wants to retrieve his car from the pound, it's not going to be cheap.
There's a fee. It's 150 quid if you want it back, or it's £15 a day storage.
The man has been cooperative, but as this is their second car about to be seized in just a few weeks, his partner's not handing it over that easily.
What's you say?
Not giving it.
I don't need the key. I'm good for taking the car.
His partner wasn't happy that A, the car had been taken off him, and B, that it was probably my ugly mug that did it again.
We're going to seize the car, all right? It's Darren's car. Well, it's under Darren's name in his car.
Did he pay for it now?
Well, he might not have done, but we're seizing the car, all right, because it's got no insurance, no licence.
Now they've both got probably 6 points on the licence and a fine each. There's 2 cars that they've totally just lost.
We don't really want to get arrested for obstructing police, do you?
Because always taking my car.
Right. Come on, don't make it even worse for yourself.
The woman finally sees sense.
Thank you. I know it's their only transport that they might have for now, but they still need to be legal, like everyone else is legal. I've been to road traffic collisions where a culprit, suspect as such, has got no licence, has got no insurance, and it's their inexperience that potentially has caused that accident. Why couldn't they walk? He was explaining that he only needed to go half a mile that way and half a mile that way. Why not walk and not take the risk of what he's done today?
The couple never collected the car from the pound, so it was crushed. The man had to pay fines, costs and victim surcharge, totalling £811. He was also given 6 penalty points on his provisional licence, which means it's been cancelled. Coming up, more unhappy customers for Keith.
Don't do that, matey, otherwise you get yourself locked up.
When he sees his stolen goods.
You gotta try that.
And a bodycam cop goes above and beyond the call of duty.
It's just a small gesture.
One thing all police officers quickly learn is to always expect the unexpected. It's 4:30 p.m. on a Sunday in Broxtowe.
NH3 just near Barla Drive.
Keith is on shift with PC Matt Daly. They're responding to a call about a burglary.
It's been classed as what we call a code blue, where every officer that's available should go to the location to hopefully grab the offenders for it.
The burglar is thought to be still in the house, where a window has been smashed at the back.
That's the first units on scene saying that they don't think we've been given the correct address.
This informant obviously given completely the wrong address. Just stand by.
Control try to work out which house it could be and give one address to Keith and Matt, while 2 other officers try the house next door.
We've been given this as the updated property that may have been attacked, but there's no damaged windows.
The cops next door have found a broken window, but it doesn't appear to have been a burglary.
What have they done, Joe? They smashed it themselves?
Matt heads over there to find out what happened.
The chap that's inside, it's his mother's address. She just obviously wasn't aware that he'd gain entry to her address by smashing her window. I don't think she's going to make a complaint. She's got another adult son with her, so safety is paramount, and I think with the adult son being there, we'll be happy to leave.
But Matt and Keith aren't moving on just yet. There's 2 scooters in the garden of the first house caught Keith's eye.
401, can I just have a couple of vehicle checks, please, in one of these gardens?
It doesn't take long for the result to come back.
That second vehicle was a stolen vehicle from Lincolnshire, stolen on the 4th of the 11th.
The people who live in the house are surprised to find their garden full of cops.
Hey up, dude, you alright?
Why didn't you knock on?
The thing is, we've come into the wrong garden because someone said this one possibly has been broken into. Yeah. Right? Hence why we're here. Okay? Now we're in here, there's 2 bikes that are in bits. So that's why we just took the details, and one of them's a stolen one. So is it your bike?
I don't even know about this bike, whose this bike is or what this bike is doing here, but I'll call the owner for you.
Go on then, let's get the owner in then.
The owner is the lad's mother.
Hi, are you alright? Are you the homeowner? Yeah.
but she can't shed any light on whose the bikes are. As the bikes don't belong to anyone here, you'd think the lad would be pleased they're being removed.
That's trespassing, though, isn't it? It's not trespassing, mate, though. Honestly, mate, yeah.
Don't be an arsehole.
I'm not being an arsehole.
The vehicle identification or VIN number on the second bike has been tampered with.
So that's where the VIN number would be. Starts with a Z. And as you can see, it's been wiped or scratched. Probably 3 or 4 numbers missing here, so you can't get the full VIN to get the true identity of it. Do you know the Foxtrot Papa 62 bike that I gave you? I don't suppose you've got the last 5 of the VIN for that one, have you?
57502.
No, this is going to be a nick one as well then. So we'll have this one recovered as well. What we do know is that they're false plates because the VIN number does not match up. So that's why we suspect this is stolen.
Typically, it's sort of like teenagers. Typically, it's lads as well. They pick them up for next to nothing, ride them around. Normally, no licence, no insurance. And if they can get a few months' usage out of it, then, you know, it's been of good value for them.
The lads from the house have come out to complain, or rather, give the cops some stick.
I'm sat there worried thinking that someone's coming into my house, coming into my garden to get me. So I open my door and it's a police officer stood there. Why didn't he knock on and ask what was going on, what's happening?
Come on, man. You're just talking shit. The whole thing, the whole story is just gone.
Mate, we've got 2 stolen bikes from the back garden. What else can we do?
At the end of the day, chap, the bikes are both stolen, aren't they?
£3 million worth of motorbikes are stolen from UK streets every month.
Well, unfortunately, if you own a bike, you run the risk at the moment of having them stolen because they're so easy to take the ignition out and to start the bikes. All in all, we've got 2 bikes back that hopefully we'll be able to return to their owners.
While Matt puts the bikes on the recovery truck, the lad's mother tells Keith the bikes just appeared today.
I'll pass these details on to Lincolnshire Police who conduct their investigation and they can make contact with her at a later time with a look to interview her, or maybe she'll speak to her son and figure out how they've ended up in her garden.
As is normally the case, we get called legitimately to a job, and whilst we're trying to find the correct address, lo and behold, in the back garden's 2 stolen motorbikes. And that's typically how it works. A lot of the property that we recover is found, you know, almost by accident.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't do that, matey, otherwise you get yourself locked up, won't you?
No evidence has been uncovered as to who was responsible for stealing the scooters, but the police were able to give their owners the good news that they had been found. Policing isn't always about chasing criminals. Increasingly, response cops like PC Nadine Clark have to use their tact, diplomacy and sensitivity in order to help some people who call 999.
People skills is very important in our role. You know, if someone's been assaulted, we're usually the first people to see them after that. So it's very important how we deal with that victim.
It's just gone midnight on one of the coldest nights of the year, and the temperature has dropped to -3.
Off road before you get road. It's
Nadine and a colleague are responding to a domestic incident in a residential street in the Radford Road area of the city. The caller is a young man.
male parties rang us saying that ex-partner or partner's at the door knocking, want to be let in. He doesn't want her there, so unfortunately we have to go and tell her to go away.
A recent report shows more than 700,000 men were victims of domestic abuse.
If we get a domestic incident, it could just be a verbal argument, or it could be a lot more to it, an assault or something more serious. So we never know what we're going to go to until we actually get to that address and speak to someone.
Hello. Yeah,
you rang us?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah. You say your girlfriend was knocking?
Yeah, she's come with two lads, basically, just kicking my door.
Yeah. Right. What's she coming round for, do you know?
We split up on Saturday.
Does she want some belongings or something?
Basically, come round here, two other guys, just like trying to barge away through the door.
The man tells them it's not the first time he's had a problem with his ex.
She always hits me, like, it's not on, I've realised, not at all. I don't want it no more. I don't want a girl like that. She's hit me so many times, it's unbelievable.
Are you frightened of her? Be honest.
I'm a bit frightened of who she is.
Right, okay. Do you think us having a word with her will make it worse? So would you rather us not, or do you want to ring us when if she comes back?
The guy shows them the battery on his phone, which is nearly flat.
It's my battery now.
Oh yeah, it's on one bar.
Do you have any heating?
You got no heating either?
No.
You got no money for electric? Nothing at all?
When do you get paid?
On the 22nd. I'm on universal credit.
You've got another 10 days. I'm happy to drive you to a friend's if you can text a friend. I don't want you staying here in the cold and dark.
That's what I can do. A lot of my friends are in like the same predicament sort of thing.
He had no phone battery, he couldn't charge his phone, and it was going to be another 2 weeks before he got any money. It was a really cold night, and he answered the door in a woolly hat and a coat, and the lights were off. There wasn't any warmth coming from the home at all. So I was a bit concerned about how he was living.
Can I borrow your electric card a minute? Have you got it? Just wait there, let me see what I can sort out, and we'll see you in a bit. Lock the door for me.
The cops go on the hunt for the ex-girlfriend to a few places she's known to hang out. But few people are around, and they draw a blank.
It's a Monday night, and it's very cold, which I think puts people off going out. It's not usually like this.
They head back to make sure the man's ex hasn't returned to harass him. But on the way, it becomes clear why Nadine took his electricity card.
Okay, managed to get some electric.
Back at the man's flat, Nadine hands him the topped-up card.
Go on, try that. There we go.
Thank you.
Let's get some lights on and everything then.
In the kitchen, it's clear the man's situation would have been desperate without any electricity.
What food you got?
I've got 2 microwave meals.
Right, so you got a microwave, you got electric hob as well, haven't you? So go to the council tomorrow, ask for an emergency loan.
I've had pneumonia because of this.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you can't live like this, can you?
No.
But it's the intimidating ex-girlfriend that still occupies the young man's thoughts.
Did you find anything?
No, we went to Kaya Foods, she wasn't there. And obviously we went down past the post office, Gregory Boulevard, nothing there. And then we've been up to Mansfield Road, top end.
Okay.
She's not here. It's now what time is it? It's what, 1:30? 1:30 nearly. So she's not going to come back now, is it? It's cold. But I want you to charge your phone as well, so you've got someone, you can call us, can't you, if need be? Yeah? Okay. All right. We're going to get off. Okay. All right. It struck a chord. I'm the eldest of 5. My mum, lived, well, we all lived hand to mouth. She was always robbing Peter to pay Paul. She had no money, and if I could help in a certain way, a little way, it's not much, is it? This is one of those things, isn't it? I wouldn't normally want to talk about it, but yeah, it's just a small gesture.